I call to order this regularly scheduled meeting of the Kingman Unified School District on July 14th, 2026 at 4:30. Would you stand and recite the pledge, please? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. We have roll call: Tony Henry,
Lori Grant, Susan Collins,
Boyd Hardy,
Roger Cox.
and we have a quorum. That is going to bring us to item number 4 on the agenda, which is the call to the public. And I do know we have one person who is currently filling out their form. I want to give her a second to come forward.
oh, sorry.
It's okay. While she's preparing her statement, the board will listen to any comment from the public, but will not respond except as permitted by Arizona Revised Statute 38-431.01G. The board may refer the item to the administration or request to have it placed on a future agenda. And just as a reminder, our comments at the call to the public are limited to 3 minutes.
License.
Yeah, perfect. That's okay. If you want to go ahead. So we have Tammy Van Dyke to come up to the podium.
I'm a school bus driver. There was an incident, 0408. I missed. There's no accident. This is what they did. They terminated me without me going through the student transportation trial yet. I'm good at what I do. I did 23 years of school busing. I know what I'm doing. I missed that object on that road. And they made me terminate me by discriminating me, saying I didn't miss that car. Now I'm homeless. I have no job, no money. I'm almost out. I'm out of food. I have 2 dogs. I have a friend I'm taking care of. I got about another 2 weeks. I did unemployment, but I still got 2 weeks before I get any money. I had my credit really good. I had everything good. I missed that car. There's no accident. I missed it. And they sent me this, they had me go to the office. They didn't have me go do the agility test and do the meeting. They fired me. And I got an incident, if I could get it for you, to read. I'm trying to get the pages. I did 4 copies. I did 2 weeks of writing. I'm not good at writing. So I hope you understand it. I'm not that very good. What they did to me for the past 3 months. That's not right to make me homeless. I'm barely surviving. For the 6 years I've been driving the school bus, I'm trying to be careful. I really am. I don't want to be homeless. I really don't. Let me give you guys your thing. And I want you guys to read it. I've been sabotaged, set up for that accident. It was a stage accident. The only time I left the school was at the high school. I went to the bathroom. That scratch is barely on there. Anybody can put that scratch on there. At the high school when I went to the bathroom. Pull the tape of the high school. I'm fighting for my job, so I won't be homeless. I'm 54 years old. How many 54-year-olds have a hard time getting a second job after they get fired for something they did not do? I didn't do anything. There's no accident. But they sure pushed it through. They pushed it through. I'm trying to get to the beginning.
Thank you for coming and speaking with us. But that
Can
was
I separate this and give it to you?
Yeah, you're welcome to take a seat and hand over to
Okay.
Valerie. Thank you. All right, that will take us to item number 5, our reports from the district. Superintendent Dorner?
President Henry, members of the board, we're excited to have school starting tomorrow. There's been a flurry of activity going on, and if IT would please put the first slide up, I'd appreciate it. All right, then advanced, they're going to be my advanced helpers. I don't have the clicker with me. This is the back to school superintendent's report. Next slide, please. So this year our theme is united in purpose and inspired by possibilities. Several of the board members were able to join me for the school visits. There was at least one board member at all school visits. It was really exciting, where we shared with staff that this year we will be united in purpose and inspired by possibilities. Our administrative team met for a full-day summit where we talked about our vision. You can see the vision board we've started over to the side in the boardroom here. And we spent a lot of time talking about what we want for our stakeholders. So first I would like to talk about what we want for our community.
Every community member sees KUSD as an integral part of the Kingman community, a trusted partner that inspires pride, strengthens connections, and helps create a brighter future for all.
Also for our community.
Every community member feels informed, connected, and included through open communication and shared experiences that strengthen relationships.
Thank you. For our families,
every family feels welcomed, valued, and a true sense of belonging as an integral part of the KUSD community.
and
every family experiences trusting, respectful partnerships with our schools built on open communication, collaboration, and shared responsibility for student success.
and for our staff, we want
every staff member feels valued, respected, and appreciated for the unique talents, expertise, and the dedication they bring to our students and schools.
and
Every staff member experiences a workplace where well-being matters and knows there is always someone in their corner to provide encouragement, support, and care.
And finally, the reason we're all here, we talked a lot about what we want for our students.
Every student achieves success by reaching their individual potential and celebrating progress towards their goals.
And every student develops confidence, resilience, and self-belief to embrace challenges and believe in their ability to succeed.
And every student is empowered to take ownership of their learning by understanding what they need to learn, advocating for themselves, and actively pursuing their goals.
And finally, that's it.
Every student experiences meaningful growth academically, socially, emotionally, and personally throughout their educational journey.
And as a district, we are united in this purpose, and more importantly, inspired by the possibilities. We had a great 25-26 school year. It was our pleasure to share with the board each month some of the outstanding activities and academics, arts, and athletics achievements, and we will continue to do so this year. But we've added some goals that we'd like to report on regularly. I'll give you updates monthly, and then perhaps we'll have benchmark reports at those times. And the first would be our district goal is on academic growth. We want 85% of our students to maintain proficiency or demonstrate measurable academic growth. That means stay in the category they're in or demonstrate growth. We will do that through targeted intervention, progress monitoring, support for every learner, and focusing on Tier 1 instruction using district curriculum. Our second district goal is excellent instruction. 100% of classroom observations will demonstrate effective, essential elements of instruction. Knowing that you pop into classrooms at a whole plethora of times. It could be the beginning, the middle, the end. It could be independent or guided practice. But we know that every time we go into a classroom, teachers are doing amazing things. Our focus areas are instructional practices, curriculum alignment, student engagement, and providing professional learning in all areas where teachers either tell us they would like it or they decide as a collaborative group on their campus they could use some more learning in that area. And then finally is our community engagement goal. We talked about this at the end of last year when we met. And our goal is to increase community engagement by 20%. It's interesting, we have to have a baseline, right, before we can measure our 20%. So we have established some measurement strategies where we can look at what we're doing now and then what goes forward. And there's a liaison or a person on each campus who's going to measure what's happening on that campus by, for example, last night's back to school events, all of the campuses that had it. We couldn't count fast enough, there were so many people. But in addition to having people on the campuses, we're putting meaningful strategies in where there's two-way engagement. There's exploration opportunities for adults. There's things for students to do so that we can increase the engagement during those activities. We also want to continue career exploration, which we've been working on. Building community partnerships, such as what's happening between our organization and the Kingman Area Chamber of Commerce, between the CTE, internships, and all of the other pathways we have. Really taking a look at our school events, opportunities for volunteerism, and then continued collaboration in businesses. So we'll report on those goals regularly. We're all unified in making them happen. You can skip the next slide. We're not going to do the revenue comparison. Skip that one. Yep. Oh, I was hoping on the giant screen you could see it pretty well. But this is our enrollment data. I've checked it 2 or 3 times a day for the last few weeks. This is the latest data as of this morning. We have a total of about 6,700 students, plus the number in parentheses below that represents how many students are in the queue. So we have our enrollment where we can see the count or the actual enrollment, and then every office has somebody responsible for managing the enrollment queue. And that's like watching a Wall Street ticker counter because it changes regularly. Students are processed and they moved into the enrollment, and then somebody else enters the queue, and there's always a variety of things that have to happen. So you can see the numbers by campus. Lee Williams is about to break, I think it's even a few higher than 1,092. They'll probably be at 1,100 by tomorrow morning. But all different numbers, it just depends on the size of the school and the location, which is why that varies. We have 312 and a half, because we do have some part-time employees, certified staff, 283 classified staff, and I'm so excited. I've double-checked this against the HR spreadsheets about an hour ago, that we only have 5 unfilled positions. And I want to give a round of applause to our HR team. That's a lot of work. And you know, if we do have a few executive sessions later, the number would have been smaller than that even. So great job to everyone for filling those positions. There are a handful of international teachers, fewer than typical, that we will have some temporary guest teachers while they're coming into the country. That is typical. And then you can see right now, or as of this morning, it changes like I said. There were 83 students across the campus actively enrolling this morning. So the numbers really fluctuate in the first 10 days of school. We have all the new students coming, then a few more will leave as they either exit the state or move other places. So that's our student enrollment and staffing. On the next slide.
Can I ask a clarifying
You
question?
absolutely can.
The column that says Q, is that students that have registered?
That's actively registering at the time.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, the Q is they're not in the enrollment, and I only count, because the Q can have a Manzanita to Wallapai student, you know, they're tagged a little differently in the Q. I only counted new students and returning to us from outside the district students. I didn't count any transfer students in the Q numbers.
Okay, thank you.
Great question, thank you. So finally, I'll just end by repeating that we are united in purpose and inspired by possibility. I want to give a shout out to the grounds crew. All of the campuses look fantastic. That picture is an example of the La Sanita courtyard. The schools were ready for students. Desert Willow, you can see Dr. Pisano in the upper left corner. I want to just pause and give him a shout out because he performed at Carnegie Hall this summer. And I did stop by his room yesterday, and he's a little shy. For having a doctorate in opera, he's still a little shy. But I did invite him to a future board meeting to sing for us and share what happened with him at Carnegie Hall. In that upper middle, where you see the Kingman High Bulldog, Kingman High is taking advantage of a local graduate and artist, Santana? Yes. I want to get his name right. He completed 3 more murals at Kingman High, and they are all fantastic. That's an example of his work. And you can see in the upper right corner the families, I believe, is that Kingman Middle School, Christina? Yep. Walking the halls at Kingman Middle School last night, they were very welcome. The middle picture just shows the hard work that SSC puts into making the school shine. That's Manzanita's beautiful floor. Down the center, there's some happy Desert Willow staff members, and then you can see a White Cliffs teacher on the lower corner just interacting with stakeholders. So just some examples for the board to see that we are school ready. The buses are ready, the cafeterias are ready, the classrooms are ready. We are almost 100% staffed, and we're super excited. The call to action is that we want everyone to be intentional in the role that they play. Board members are intentional, district admin, teachers, parents, community, family members. Be collaborative, choose relationships, celebrate successes, support one another, and remain focused, because when we are united in purpose, we become inspired by the possibilities. So, thank you.
Thank
you.
That was a wonderful report. Thank you, Dr. Dorner. Thank you. We're excited for the school year. Thank you.
Let's give her a hand.
All right. That will take us to item number 6, which is the routine orders of business for our consent agenda. Are there any items that the board would like to be removed from the consent vote?
I would like to remove item number C from the consent agenda.
Any others? Okay, then will there be a motion to approve all items on the consent agenda, A through R, with the exception of item number C?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Lori, I'll turn it over to you for item number C for your
Item
comments.
number C, I would just like to abstain from voting due to a personal conflict.
Okay. All right then. With that comment, would someone on the board like to make a motion to approve the personal hire ratification list, item number C of the consent agenda?
Yeah, I can make a motion to approve item C, approval higher ratification list.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have an abstain from Lori. All right. That will take us to item number 7, which is to approve the district representatives who will participate in special education individual education plans for the 26-27 school year.
Good evening, Madam President and members of the board. I'm here tonight to ask you to approve some additional district representatives to serve as the LEA in all of our IEP meetings.
Do we have any questions? It's a pretty typical request for us. Then would there be...
I'll make a motion to approve item number 7, to approve the additional representatives for the IEP representatives.
All right, is there a
I'll
second?
second.
Okay, any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 8 is possible action to approve curriculum, a math curriculum, IXL.
President and members of the board, this curriculum has been on display since the May 12th board meeting. There has been no public comment since it has been on display.
Any thoughts?
Just a quick question. When it comes to the approval, obviously it's been on display, it's been used, it has not been used in the classrooms yet.
This one actually has been used at our alternative campus. Typically with any curriculum before it comes to you for approval, it's been piloted for at least a year. IXL has actually been in use for multiple years at our alternative campus, and that's why we're bringing it to the board now to become an approved curriculum.
Have the kids been liking the teachers and everything? Has it been good?
Yes.
Perfect. Excellent. I'll make the motion to approve the curriculum for IXL math.
Second.
Any other comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
That brings us to item number 9, possible action to approve salary placement schedules for fiscal year 26-27.
President Henry, members of the board, the only change to our salary schedules for this year was to reflect an increase of 301 money from $13,000 to $13,500 for teachers. Everything else has already been approved in other board meetings throughout the year. No other changes.
Any questions from the board? Will there be a motion then to approve the salary placement schedules for the 26-27 year?
I can make that motion for the approval.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right. Any other comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 10, possible action to approve updating board policy to align with new USFR purchasing guidelines.
President Henry, members of the board, every July, or previous to July, but the state reviews, updates, and makes changes to the Uniform System of Financial Records for Arizona school districts, the USFR, or I like to call it the Finance Bible. As of July 1st, 2026, the USFR now outlines a threshold of $15,000 to less than $100,000 for purchases requiring 3 written quotes. The previous threshold was $10,000 to $100,000. Our board policy is outlined in DJE, purchasing procedures, states purchases of $10,000 or more are subject to competitive bidding requirements. This approval by the governing board will allow us to update our board policy to match the new guidelines from the USFR.
How many contracts do we have that will be affected by this change?
They're not necessarily contracts, but just vendors.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just gonna
That's a really good one.
Because with inflation, I'm sure that's why this is happening.
I would assume we do have a few that we are either always like right at that limit, and we do have to go back. I wouldn't say there's tons and tons, but there's definitely a few that we're really excited about. It doesn't take much to get finance really excited.
I understand.
Any other comments or questions?
So this allows the approval of certain purchases or something that are $15,000 or less?
It allows us to spend with vendors up to $15,000 without having to get additional quotes. And it's even the grocery stores, Safeway, Bashas', that really helps us out quite a bit.
All right, we have a motion to approve the new USFR purchasing guidelines. Is there a second?
Seconded.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Item number 11, possible action to approve Enterprise Fleet Management as sole source vendor for lease buyout of white fleet vehicles.
President Henry, members of the board, the district entered into a lease agreement with Enterprise Fleet Management in April 2020 for 33 white fleet vehicles. At the time, we utilized the Sourcewell purchasing contract to meet the procurement requirements for the lease. In April 2026, a new contract was awarded to Enterprise for fleet leases. All of the contracts that we utilize through Sourcewell or other contracting cooperatives, they have to meet the Arizona due diligence requirements for us to be able to use them. This new contract we have found does not meet the requirements for Arizona. And at this point, to formally solicit a purchase or to formally solicit to purchase vehicles and to do anything else at this point would not be in the district's best interest. We've been looking to buy out this fleet anyway because we're towards the end of the lease as it is. So the payoff amount for all of our white fleet vehicles, that we receive the titles free and clear. It's $102,000. Buying them outright also allows us to save money monthly on the fleet management fees and the required maintenance fees that Enterprise requires us to pay every month. Last year, we spent $186,000 on the lease. So it is a savings overall of previous spending, plus the monthly fees that we will be saving. So this is to approve Enterprise as a sole source vendor, which then will allow us to buy them out.
So are we buying these vehicles or?
We are buying them outright. We've been leasing them. We've been using them since April of 2020. They all generally have low miles, are in really good condition. Our transportation department can do any of the required maintenance on them. So we will own them. We will receive the titles.
And who will they be distributed to? Teachers, administrators?
It varies. It varies. All of them, some of them are assigned to IT because they go to all of different schools. Some of the different departments have several. The schools have a couple here and there. Some of them stay here at transportation so that they're available for different trips, activities, things like that.
It sounds like a real deal. You're getting 100 vehicles. How many?
33. We've been paying on them monthly for years now, but it's time for us to buy them.
So we had a sole source agreement with Enterprise when we were leasing them, and then now we need to just renew the sole source so we can buy them out, and then we can no longer have.
So they were not on a sole source. We were just utilizing a purchasing contract.
Okay.
Now that purchasing contract does not meet Arizona requirements for purchasing cooperatives. So we are asking that we make Enterprise a sole source vendor, and then we will buy out the fleet.
Which would allow us to keep the vehicles we already have and.
Yes, and save money by not turning them in and getting brand new ones at this point.
Which would go into another bid process.
Yes, yeah.
And that's like all of the 15 passenger vans.
A few of those we own outright, but yes, those we have all different kinds. We have a few trucks, we have a few.
Yeah. Everything that's not a school bus.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the sole source for Enterprise Fleet Services.
I'll second.
Management.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So item number 12 is the request a motion to adjourn this regular meeting to go into a public meeting to discuss the proposed budget for fiscal year 27. So do I have a motion to go into a public meeting, to adjourn the regular meeting?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so at this time, I have opened up the public hearing for the purpose of discussion related to the proposed budget for the fiscal year 27.
President Henry and members of the board, our proposed budget this year looks very similar to the end of last year's revised budget. We are starting with an estimated ADM equal to our ending ADM in FY26. As our ADM fluctuates throughout the year, we'll capture those changes on our revised budgets, generally in December and then again in May. If we continue to lose students, our budget will decrease by the end of the year, but we're hopeful. The state approved a 2% increase to the base limit funding. So now that amount is $5,215.53 per weighted ADM. The primary and secondary tax rates, when I wrote this and submitted it to you, were not finalized. I've been working with the county. It looks like our new primary tax rate will be 3.3252, slightly reduced from what I have on the budget. And then, as I had mentioned about the bonds, they are expiring. They expired at the end of last year, June 2026. And so we will not have a bond rate going forward. Both of those adjustments will be captured in the December revised budget. Our revenue control limit is $55,086,306. This takes into consideration our estimated weighted ADM, our transportation support, including allocations for daily route miles and eligible students transported. Our one-time additional funding, state aid payments are usually around $1 million a year. Our district additional assistance is calculated at about $3,713,921. And this is based on a calculated growth factor from prior year's ADM and additional support for high schools. Total revenue from the state should be around $59,884,114. That allocation gets split between M&O and capital funds. And then our carryover from last year is added to that. Our carryover is still estimated because we have not finalized last fiscal year. We are allowed to keep paying on bills and everything for a couple of months, and then we will finalize everything. At this point, I'm estimating our M&O carryover just under $7.5 million and capital just over $3.5 million. Any questions from the board or the public regarding the budget for 27?
You said our ADM is starting this year equivalent to last year. So are you saying that even though we've had maybe names, but bodies really haven't adjusted much, and we haven't lost a lot of students over the summer?
It's hard because when I have to prepare this, it's in June, and so I don't know this. There might be a better way, but I've always just used the ending of last year as an estimate for the new year. We know it fluctuates, and as I've looked at previous years, at just ADM and how it moves, we had years where it increased throughout the year, year by year, and then we're kind of seeing the opposite trend. So while I kind of figure it will decline throughout the year, it's just a starting point. We have to start somewhere.
Okay.
What is ADM?
Average daily membership.
Membership?
How many students are enrolled?
I see.
Comments? Any questions? All right, well, hearing none, then we will go to item number 14, which is to adjourn the public meeting and reconvene into the regular board meeting. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
Go for it.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye. All right, that brings us back into the regular board meeting to item number 15, which is possible action to adopt the proposed budget for fiscal year 27. So is there a motion to adopt the proposed budgets that's been presented to us?
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. That takes us to item number 16, which is the approval of listed donations. Is there a motion for that?
I'll make a motion to approve the listed donations.
Is there a second?
I'll second, and thank you to everyone in our community that supports our
Yes.
schools.
It's wonderful when there's pages of them. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. That brings us to item number 17, which is the possible motion to move into executive session per ARS 38-431.03A1 to discuss requests to be released from their 26-27 employment contracts by the 4 employees listed. So is there a motion to convene into executive session?
I move that we convene into executive session.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we will move into executive session. year 26-27 employment contract effective June 30th, 2026. And so just as a reminder to the community, what happens in the executive session is protected by state statute ARS 38-431.03A1. The board takes into consideration each case, each request independently, its merits, and the decisions are made solely based off of each individual's situation. And so with that, is there a motion on the request by Eric Bobkowski?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to accept the resignation of Eric Bobkowski, but with the imposition of a fee, as well as to report to the state for a breach of contract.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 20, possible action on a request by Liliana Schaus, school psychologist, to be released from her fiscal year 26-27 employment contract effective July 2nd, 26.
I would like to make a motion to release Liliana Schaus from her contract with an imposition of a fee, as well as a report for a breach of contract.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 21, possible action on a request by Veronica Morris, a teacher, to be released from her fiscal year 26-27 employment contract effective June 30th, 2026.
I would like to make a motion to accept the request of Veronica Morris to be released from her 26-27 contract without imposition of a fee and without reporting to the board or the state for a breach of contract.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And item number 22, possible action on a request by Bradley Johnson, teacher, to be released from his fiscal year 26-27 employment contract effective July 7th, 2026.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the resignation of Bradley Johnson with the imposition of a fee and to report to the state for a breach of contract.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That brings us to item number 23, board comments. Are there any comments from the board?
Just like to publicly say that we will miss Mr. Brad here. Boyd.
That's all please. Yeah.
He's done a great job. And anyway, it'll be a loss to us. Boyd is not here.
And for those of you who don't know, I am stepping down from the board due to life problems and things I need to get squared away personally. My resignation has already been turned in, and thank you all for taking care of me and helping me through these last 3 years, almost 3 years, 3 graduations. It's been an amazing time, and I've loved it. And I hope one day maybe I can come back and do it again. Thank you.
Thank you, board. Any other comments? Well, as president of the board, I would just like to wish all of our Kingman Unified School District staff a welcome back for the new year, and hope that you all have a fabulous year this year. So we appreciate you and thank you, and we are very grateful as a board to have all of you with us. So with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. I need all of your signatures on the budget proposal.